Namaste, guys. Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Thursday morning here in Denver, Colorado. It is 8 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time for a daily dose of divine light, love, and power, with today's focus on love. And I crashed at a friend's house last night, so apologize for my hair. It's a little crazy, but I'm fully present, fully aware. Jessica, Namaste, and got my morning coffee. All is well. So, I was thinking for collaboration purposes, the topic we could cover is divine love. And you hear the term unconditional love thrown around a lot, right? Like, I have unconditional love, unconditional love. In most cases, that's not true. In a lot of cases, when for a mother and a child or a father and a child, there is unconditional love. No matter how low the child goes in life, how many mistakes the child goes, there's usually unconditional love from the parents. So here's something interesting about unconditional love for others and unconditional love for oneself. So you have the solar plexus chakra, which is right below the breastbone in the soft part. You can actually push on that. And that's the insertion point in the solar plexus chakra. It deals with lower negative and lower positive emotions. It deals with self-interest, right? So when we do things for the self, we're doing it out of self-interest, right? I go to work to earn money, not necessarily out of the goodness of my heart to make the company successful, but I go there to get a paycheck so I can have a certain standard of living. Prashant, Namaste. So self-interest is very, very good. It's very important. Then you have selfishness, where everything you do is you do to fulfill your own needs, wants, and desires at the expense of another person. So you can see how complicated that could actually be, of self-interest and selfishness, love of oneself, right? And then you have the heart chakra, which is love of others. Unconditional love, unconditional giving. It's giving the shirt off of your back for the benefit of another person, right? Now, as I understand it, and there's still a little bit more tweaking I have to do to understand this even deeper, is that as I understand it, expectations, Adriana, Namaste, expectations are also in the heart. So we can be giving, Karina, Namaste, we can be giving, we can be loving, we can be kind, but there's a level of expectations that we have on how that person should show up after we're being loving and kind and generous to them. Like, I'll give to you, right? And then at some point I have the expectation. Now, there is a connection of giving to the soul, to the navel chakra, right? Where the belly button is. The navel chakra deals with strategic giving. Strategic giving. So as a business person, you have charity 1 and charity 2. Charity 1 is the one that you would give to unconditionally. You're like, this is the charity and cause that I believe in. But charity 2 is, if you give to that charity, it will help your business become more prosperous. So you're giving, but you're giving with strategy in mind. It'll be maybe good PR for your company. It'll be presented as goodwill in the community of like, oh, that's a good company and I want to do business with them. So that's giving from the navel chakra, strategic giving. So people who have very big, strong, healthy navel chakras give, but they give for the purpose of gaining, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that, because that goes back to self-interest, right? There's nothing wrong with giving and going, you know what, I also expect to receive something in return. But certain unrealistic expectations, as I understand it, can be in the heart chakra. So we give, and then we're like, okay, well, this person has to reciprocate in some way, shape, or form. So the crown, universal love, gives with no expectations of any kind. You do just because it's part of your nature to give. It's part of your nature to love, right? No expectations of any kind. So the great, great spiritual teachers, they give, they bless, they teach, they heal students, disciples, everybody and anybody, right? With no expectations of any kind. Does that make sense? So that's the higher level, or the highest level of giving. Marsha, namaste. Good to have you back on again. You're now becoming a regular. So people think that they can't give and have healthy boundaries, and that's not accurate. You can be super generous, you can be super loving, you can be super giving, and still have healthy boundaries, because you understand by taking care of the self, right? By taking care of the self, it allows you to take care of and serve other people. So, for instance, you could have people pulling you at all times of day and night, needing you for something, needing you for healing, needing you for counseling, needing you for coaching, needing you for your expertise, needing you for something, right? And you can give unconditionally to these people with no expectation, but you give, and you deplete yourself more and more and more and more, and you have less and less energy. You're mentally exhausted, you're physically exhausted, you're emotionally exhausted, and then you can't give anymore, right? Karen, namaste. So does that make sense? You can give, but you have to fill up your, Jennifer, namaste, you have to give, you have to fill up your cup. So it's both. It's the cycle of giving and receiving. So it's important to give. It's important to be loving. It's important to be non-attached to your giving, but you also have to have a level of boundaries and self-interest, right? Not selfishness, but a level of self-interest. So you go, you know what? I need to get my 6 hours of sleep or 7 hours of sleep or 8 hours of sleep or whatever you need, right? For your self-interest. And then the rest of the time, I'm going to give. Krishna, namaste. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear. This is a fascinating topic that I've heard many, many times over the years, and it requires a lot of study. It requires a lot of understanding, because there's a part of us, because it's part of our love aspect, that we want to give, that we're like, we want to love, we want to radiate, we want to share with others. It's part of who and what we are. If you look at little tiny kids, they're always giving to one another. They're always sharing with one another. In general, like the little tiny kids, they run up on each other and they hug each other. They love each other. They share, they give. It's part of our nature to do those things, right? But because of distortion, because of karma, because of many, many factors, we grow up, and instead of giving unconditionally, we give with expectations, and then we have a level of selfishness because we don't feel that we receive enough love, get enough love. It's very, very interesting when it's connected to the love aspect, because we have the expectation that, okay, I only have so much love to give. Love is limited, right? Which is not true, because if you light the candle of another person, it doesn't diminish your candle. So if you light the candles of thousands of people, there's thousands of more light or love in the world, right? It's not a lack of, but people have that expectation, so they try to hoard love, right? They try to hoard it. I'm going to hold on to my love because it's a limited supply. But that's why you feel a limited supply of love. But if you just opened your heart and you gave and you were generous and you were kind and you were sweet without expectations and you gave unconditionally, so much love would flow back into your life. And you're like, I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. Think about this. I'm going to blow everyone's mind. You ready? I'm going to blow your mind. You might have to sit down for the rest of the day and meditate on this. It's going to be so intense. What would your life look like, and what would your relationships look like if you gave to others like you give to your pets? What would your life look like if you gave to your pets like you and you give that way to other people? Because people love their pets. People give to their pets no matter what. If there's vomit on the floor, they're happy to clean it up. If they got to go out 10 times a day, they're happy to do that, right? It doesn't matter. People will do anything for their pets, because why? They see their pets as vulnerable. Brandy, I'm going to say, they see their pets as vulnerable. They see their pets as dependent on them. They see their pets as innocent. They see their pets as loyal. They see their pets as trustworthy. They see all these beautiful qualities in their pets, right? Even though the pets are basically conditioned and trained to be that way. Hello. But if we treated the rest of the world, our personal and professional relationships like that, how much love would we be experiencing with our friends, with our family members, and other people, right? So, hold on, we got a question here. Adrian says, boundaries are needed to take care of yourself as well. Correct. Who's Daniel Har? So, boundaries are very important. Boundaries are very important. I'm not saying boundaries are not important, but people have a tendency to swing the pendulum too far. They have no boundaries in any of their relationships. So they're like, I need to have stronger boundaries. I need to have better self-esteem, better self-respect, which is accurate. But then they go here. They swing the pendulum so far over that everything that they do is about me, myself, and I, regardless of other people. You can't do that. You have to be in the middle. That's why the Lord Buddha teaches the middle path, right? He doesn't say do this. But this is actually what we do from lifetime to lifetime. We swing like this from lifetime to lifetime until eventually we develop a level of self-mastery and we master moderation and non-excessiveness, and then we're right in the center. That's the path of righteousness. That's the path of the Tao. Joanna, namaste. Welcome to the party. Yes, if our friends show up like the pets. Yeah, Adriana's like, yeah, but of course, if our friends showed up like our pets, we would be like that. Right? But what does that go back to? Expectations. It's not unconditional love. So you have to let go of your expectations of how other people show up, right? If you keep planting, Diana, namaste, if you keep planting love, if you keep planting sweetness, if you keep planting joy, if you keep planting kindness, those seeds are going to be planted, right? And then eventually they're going to sprout. At some point in time, it's inevitable. It's the law of karma, right? It's inevitable. But if you're always like this with your seeds, with this with your heart energy, this with your love, you're like, I'm going to give just this much to this person, just this much to that person. I'm going to divvy it up because there's only so much love. I'm going to divvy it up. You can't operate that way. Open your heart. Open your heart, expand, give, share. Sorry, namaste. Good to have you on as always. You're in another meeting. Understandable. So that's our daily stream, that's our daily dose of divine light, love, and power with a focus on the love aspect. Hopefully you guys learned something. Join us in the next 20 minutes for the Twin Hearts meditation brought to you by ChristianRLong.com. If you are in need of healing, feel free to reach out to me directly, schedule a healing. If you got value out of this, I'm sure the people within your network on social media will also get value from this. Feel free to share it, and I look forward to serving you in the very, very near future. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye.